Hi guys, welcome to another instalment of my experimentation with beers and donuts, and recording this on National Donut Day, which is the 8th of June, and I've just reviewed this from Mikla San Diego, brewed in collaboration with Great Notion Brewing, and it's the Shake Your Stack, which is an imperial stout brewed with coffee, maple syrup, and cinnamon. And 9.7% ABV. Here's what the beer looks like in the glass. And I thought, instead of just pairing this beer with one donut, why don't we do it with 3 donuts? Because Lord knows I need more weight on my person. But the beer itself, just look at the way it coats that glass. It's going to take me ages to clean this glass, but the coffee is really shining now. It's become a really dominant. It's mixing with that cinnamon so beautifully. But when I was first trying it, the cinnamon was probably the most domineering character. Oh, but lovely body to it. Mikla San Diego and their stouts, the body is always just absolutely bang on. So I'm sat on the floor because I got rid of my little sort of table that I had in here. I need better furniture for this room, aside from my big, beautiful beer cabinet, which takes up barely as much space as the bed does, which is unmade, by the way. So had to go to my local co-op to get some donuts, and they're all mass-produced ones. There's nothing unique here or anything like that, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't always have to be artisanal. Do you know what I mean? We've seen on the channel that Asta brews some really nice donuts, bakes some really nice donuts. Of course, I've been to Siop Shop in Manchester, in the Northern Quarter. They do extraordinary donuts. This time next week, I will be parading around in my Temple Coffee and Donuts t-shirt or hoodie, because I'll be there with Rob on the Friday. So, and I can get access to really good beers, and like Krispy Kreme. Probably my introduction, really, to weird and wonderful flavours. And that amaretto, or amaretti donut that they do is just to die for. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not expecting the cream of the crop with these donuts, but they're gonna be donuts. Do you know what I mean? It's like with pizza. Supermarket pizza can be really good. It's never gonna reach the heights of anything that's freshly baked in a pizza oven or anything like that, but you've got to mess up a pizza. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to mess up a donut. So the donuts in question that we're having a look at, the first one is a Cadbury's milk chocolate donut. It's probably stuck to the plate so we can show it like that. Then we've got the Cadbury's caramel donut. And there's someone really fucking loud outside. And then we've got an Oreo, tomato, however you want to pronounce it, donut. Now, I find Oreos to be so fucking overrated. I really, really do. On their own, they're okay, but I think they're such an overrated biscuit. But when you mix them with something like this, I mean, the Oreo ice cream's really nice. Then, and apologies if my teeth were all stained and all that. I've got like things around my mouth. It's been a very lazy Saturday today, so bear with me. So 3 donuts. I think they were like £1.20 for 3 packs of 2, so I'm not going to complain. Plus, I got a nice bag of just like the other small jam donuts for like 79p. So I'm not celebrating National Donut Day in style, but I'm celebrating it nonetheless, and it's a very important day in the food calendar. It also marks 1 year's anniversary of the great Anthony Corbin. Anthony Corbin? Anthony Corbin. Why did I fucking call him Anthony Corbin? Anthony Bourdain. Wow, rarely take the shine off that fitting, respectful tribute. But yeah, it also marks the 1 year anniversary of Anthony Bourdain's untimely suicide. So, you know, in true Anthony Bourdain, kitchen confessions, you name it style, you know, a man who wasn't ashamed to go to places like In-N-Out Burger and to try the cheaper options and mass-produced options because, hey, every now and then McDonald's can make a good burger. They proved that with that New York stack that they did, and that's the best burger McDonald's have ever done. Bagel bun, genius. But yeah, so I think it's fitting that I'm going to be eating donuts to mark, to pay my respects to one of the, not only one of the best culinary minds, but also one of the greatest minds in general. And plus, it's National Donut Day, so why would I not want to eat donuts? Anyway, this video's gone on for way too long already. So I've got 3 small glasses with beer, which I've realised is now pointless because I could have just poured all the beer into this glass, but I needed to get a thumbnail, so don't judge me. So anyway, let's quickly take a sip of the beer. It's like melted chocolate. In fact, a little bit more chocolatey flavours are coming through. That maple, not really there too much. Lovely savoury, ground, charry coffee character. And that cinnamon is really leaving a lasting impression on the back end. Which, by the way, if you want to hear my full thoughts of the beer, then the link is going to be down below. Recording this on the same night and then uploading them both on the same day. This is just going to go up in the evening. But no one really cares about the logistics of a sub 500 sub YouTube channel. So let's get on with the actual video. So, beer tastes really nice. So I think we'll start off with the, you know, basics, just dairy milk chocolate. Now, whether it is actually a dairy milk product or just like Dairy Milk have licensed the brand, as they tend to do, like all that cream egg related stuff tastes nothing like cream egg, and it's just like somebody else has produced something and Cadbury's have just splattered their name on it. So we shall see. Cadbury's Dairy Milk, not too upset about. I'm a big fan of that. I'm loving the dark chocolates that they're producing recently, the Cadbury's dark milk, and even Galaxy doing their dark one. They had the Galaxy dark chocolate with, can't remember what nuts it was, but it was really damn nice. Anyway, so looks fairly standard as you would expect. So yeah, made a weird noise then, but we shall give it a taste. As I was expecting, the actual donut itself is a lot firmer and cakier than you'd want it to be. So I love fluffy donuts. But do you know what? I'm not going to be too upset about that. So it looks like inside. Nice little bit of chocolate in there as well. It's just a nice simple chocolate donut. Very satisfying to eat. I realise I've got no water to cleanse the palate in between each donut, but oh well. So let's give this beer a taste. It kind of goes well, but then you get almost like a pepperiness on the back end, which I wasn't getting at all in the donut itself. Why would you ever get peppery donuts? And also when I was drinking the beer initially. So pairing wise, there's a little bit of a pepperiness. And I think it does a weird thing to the cinnamon aspect of the beer. Yeah, I'm not too keen on that flavour that's lingering on the back end, but if you weren't like trying to pick out flavours, you'd think that this was a good combination. Not bad. Donut's not bad, just a little bit too firm. The chocolate gloop inside, it's nice, got a nice consistency to it. It kind of tastes like dairy milk, but not really. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. I might as well just make a cakey remnants cuvee of all these beers now as I go along. But look, it didn't take away from the beer too much aside from that aftertaste, so I'm not too upset about the beer itself. So, caramel. Cinnamon and caramel, does that go well when you really think about it? I suppose it could do. But yeah, pretty much looks the same. Got little bits on the top. Obviously a lighter donut itself. Got chocolate all over my thumb. I love being a pig. I really do love being a pig. I hate being fat, but I love being a pig. Yeah, it's almost identical in appearance, aside from a different colour scheme. So, I'm not sure if this has actually got... Well, I'd imagine so, since it's got the puncture wounds at the bottom. Like a world-class hooker. It's always got to have puncture wounds. But, God, that's very derogatory. I do apologise. Looks good. So, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, dairy milk caramel. In fact, I'm not the biggest fan of chocolate that has caramel in it, because it just gets a little bit... Because when caramel's bad and synthetic, it's just so unsatisfying to eat. So let's see what this one turns out. So I'll have a taste of the donut. Again, bit too firm, bit too cakey in terms of texture. But the donut itself, the caramel actually really doesn't have too much flavour, to be honest. Let's see how it changes when I take a sip. It's a little bit more fluid. Transitioning from beer to donut, then back to beer. Complements it really nicely, actually. Doesn't really add too much of a unique flavour, but then again, it doesn't leave it with any sort of offensive characteristics. I actually think the cinnamon lifts the caramel on the donut, actually. And it actually dampens the cinnamon aftertaste. So I think there's good common ground between the two when it comes to this one. Doesn't detract, but then again doesn't really add. So I think it goes better than the dairy milk one so far. On its own though, probably wouldn't buy those again, just because the caramel itself is really nothing to write home about. But one thing I will say is the price that I've paid so far for the donuts You can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. Do I wish I was at a proper donut shop? Yes. Do I wish I had a mixed box of Krispy Kreme? Yes. Am I complaining? No. Because it tastes good and it's satisfying me because I'm a pig. Anyway, last donut. And the one that I'm actually most excited for, even though I'm not a fan of Oreos, is the Oreo biscuit donut. So I'm interested to see what the icing's like. Whether it's just going to be like a general, sort of like a, what's it, Victoria icing? No, it's not called Victoria icing. It's Victoria sponge. Or if it's going to actually taste like the cream that you get in an Oreo. It's been such a long time since I've had Oreos that I can't remember what they actually taste like. But in terms of appearance, definitely the most appealing of the three. They've done a really good job with the little pieces of the Oreo. Is Oreo cookie though? Because it's really soft. Is that like underbaked Oreo cookies? See, when it comes to cookies, I friggin' love soft cookies. What did I have recently? I bought them for just to share with people in work. Maryland Chunkies with white chocolate brownie. When I saw Chunky, I thought, oh, they're going to be soft baked. No, they weren't. But I wasn't too upset because they were nice. See, I love soft baked cookies. Something so nice about them. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. Let's give this a taste. Again, texture, I was expecting that. Gotta say, the blandest out of the three. That is pretty much just like a generic icing. Soft baked cookies don't really add anything to the flavour of the actual donut itself. There's like maybe a little bit of cream inside. But it's just lacking a bit of flavour. See what happens when we give it a taste of the beer. Talk proper English, Peter. Ooh. Okay. Now it's probably, it's all culminating flavour wise from the per, so it's probably not, if I was to do these videos separately within like a day of each other, would have probably got completely separate or different findings. But gotta say, and I don't know if it's this donut specifically or the fact that I've had 3 already. How much time are we on? Nearly 20 minutes. This is actually making this feel a bit more like a pastry stout. I think it's bringing out the sweetness of the adjuncts in there. Well, maple syrup is really the only sweet adjunct. The coffee has not really been affected too much by any of these donuts. It's just been the cinnamon and the maple syrup. I think this is, it's actually making the beer feel a little bit more sweeter. Yeah, this is transforming the beer from what was an initially choking on beer, or the fact that I'm stuffing my fat face with donuts. When I first was drinking this beer, it was really savoury up front. There was a big char. But this seems to be actually making it such a pig. This donut is transforming the beer into a sweeter, bolder pastry stout. In terms of the beer doing something to the donut, the donut itself is a real non-entity, unfortunately. The one that I thought would give me more flavour is actually the one that's under-delivered most. But that being said, all 3 donuts seem to do something different to the beer. Each one transforms the beer slightly. And all of them in positive ways, I think. Out of the donuts, I think the most satisfying one was just the dairy milk chocolate one. Second place would be the caramel. And third place would be the Oreo. But that being said, it's a completely different story of how the donuts have paired with the food itself, with the beer itself. I think the best for me is the caramel. That cinnamon and caramel combination is working really well. But that being said, the Oreo cookie or donut is actually making the beer taste a little bit better, if I'm being honest. I didn't think it needed more sweetness. In fact, the thing that I was saying that kind of detracted from the beer in the review was that cinnamon's a bit too overpowering. Not for me, personally, but that's the one very subtle nitpick. But I think both the caramel and the Oreo do wonderful things to the beer itself. The beer hasn't transformed the donuts, really. None of them have been oh, I don't want to finish this. Do you know what I mean? They've all worked in their own way. But I think when I put it there, I think the Oreo donut, although the weakest of the 3, actually is the best pairing out of the 3. Because it goes well and it also transforms the beer. So, kind of a success, kind of not really. A little bit anticlimactic, yes. But I'm going to be too upset because I got to sit in front of the camera and eat donuts and drink beer? No. But yeah, interesting stuff. And moral of the story is, great value for money. If you love donuts, of course, you can't always get to, even a Krispy Kreme, although they're getting a bit more accessible in supermarkets. But if you've got a local co-op, you've got a nice range of simple donuts there, do you know what I mean? Yeah, not bad. And now I'm drinking the beer on its own. It's not been too negatively affected, now that you're not constantly pairing donuts with beer. So, yeah, I think it's worked out well. And it's kind of been better than I expected, but not as good as I'd expected it to be. But, yeah. I think you've got to mess it up big style when you're pairing donuts with beer. So, yeah, you'll probably see me doing these sorts of experiments a load more on Clueless Eating, because there's something so satisfying about the world of donuts coming together with the world of beer and just mulching together and producing tasty little babies that you want to just devour. And now I'm really, really excited for my visit to Temple Coffee and Donuts in Leeds with Rob from Hopscene. Anyway, the vibration on the phone is telling me that I probably should end this video. So yeah, beer and donuts. I've done this a few times now, so I'll put the Clueless Eating playlist down below so you can check out more. Are you a fan of pairing beers with donuts? What style would you pair a specific donut with? What's your favourite donuts? Have you been to Temple Coffee and Donuts in Leeds? How many times can I say donuts in a video? But then again, it's a video about donuts, so you can say donuts as many times as you like. It's a free world. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy eating the rest of those donuts. I'm going to enjoy drinking the rest of the beer, but I need something a bit paler after this because I'm feeling a little bit heavy right now. I'm not going to lie. So, yeah. I might die of happiness and gluttony, or I might die of a heart attack. So if this is the last you see me, then it's been a good run, and I appreciate everyone's support. So thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see you next time. Cheers. Turn it off.